Aqua gang, gang, gang. What do you guys? It's your girl, Empress 777 here today with a general message for my beautiful Aquarius soul family. I hope you guys are doing super fantastic. You know your girl is doing lovely. Holy angels and spirit guys, please come through. Give us exactly what we need to know in regards to my Aquarius soul family, my Aqua gang, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. The messages are general, guys, okay? They may or may not resonate. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest. Don't force shit to fit. This is going to be for those of you who are loosely involved, kind of trying to figure out where this is going to go, what is happening here, why things have kind of... It's really eerie, the energy in this connection, because while it feels beautiful, it also feels a little toxic, you guys, okay? And I feel like the toxicity is coming from third parties, not from the two of you. So it's like outside influences rather than the two people who have connected. I do feel like so before we get totally into it, you guys, okay? Stuttering, you see that, right? I feel like this person, they have some things to say, but they don't really know how to say it. They may have embarrassed themselves here, you guys, okay? Again, the messages are general. Cross watchers, you are also welcome, so place yourself where you belong in the storylines, okay? Click the like button, y'all. Do that. Just do it. Please. It helps with the engagement. It helps us grow. We almost at 75K. We're on the road to 100K. So if you want to become a part of that, you know what I'm saying? You got to click the like button, and you also got to go ahead and become a part of the gang. We would love to have you, okay? We welcome all, right? We welcome all the aquas, right? We have beautiful energy over here. We're growing. We're a big happy family. So click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload on the channel. Now, I'm going to try to slow down my speaking is what they're telling me, right? I feel like running through it, but you know, to try and avoid some of the icky feelings, some of the embarrassment. So this person might be kind of embarrassed by how things have unfolded. Again, this is either something that it does feel like something that has been newer, right? A newer connection. You could have been dealing with this person on and off for some of you, but not for a very long time. I feel like it started very fiery. So what happened is my Palo Santo, it lit up. It almost burnt my fake nail. Yeah, the fire was like massive. And then all of a sudden it was small and itty bitty. Okay, and then it kind of went to just a regular flame. So I'm definitely taking that intuitively as a precursor, right, for how this connection has unfolded thus far. Somebody is currently running. There could be two runners. Okay, I feel like I said, it started off explosive. There could have been a lot of fire between the two of you, or the two of you may have fire within your natal charts, right? So you kind of went with that energy initially, running towards the relationship, but something occurred, right? Something occurred very quickly because the very first card out was Healing Heart. So it's like when you first start dealing with somebody, you don't want there to be situations coming up, right? So suddenly, to where you feel like you need to shield yourself, to where there are apologies that are extended, to where you needing to have like deep conversations. It's like this phase of the relationship is supposed to be fun, but it didn't feel so fun. And like I said, I don't get that it is the two of you who are creating the toxic energy. I feel like it's someone that either both of you experienced prior to meeting each other or one of you. Okay, so just take that how it resonates. For those of you who are like, I was completely healed, right? Because this is really about healing one's heart and not allowing what you went through in the past to affect how you're treating the current person. If you felt like you were healed and you had already ascended beyond the obstacles, right, that you found yourself running into, okay, in relationships prior, and you were ready for a new phase, then it's this person, okay? There are definitely some major triggers here. I don't even get that you understand how much you may have triggered this person. I don't get that it was intentional, of course, right? For triggers to occur, especially on the subconscious level, it is because they are unhealed wounds, right? They are wounds that somebody has not healed, and it has led them to sabotage something very, very beautiful. Okay, the embarrassment is potentially stemming from them leaving you to have to kind of heal yourself. This person may have ran for some of you, not all of you. Don't force shit to fit, guys, right? There's a runner sort of energy that I feel coming from their end. Okay. This is somebody who may have a little bit of a fear of intimacy. So while it felt good to get to know you, while it felt good to have this oneness with you. Okay. We won't use the L word too soon because I don't get that the two of you made it that far. If you do feel like the two of you were already saying it, I feel like you thought this person was lying, right? Why did you say that you love me? Because somebody who loves me wouldn't act like this, right? So there's either this connection did not make it to that phase yet, right? You were like deeply in like, didn't quite make it to the love word just yet. Or it happened too soon. Like you feel like that word was brought up way too soon, or they lied, right? Like you said that you love me, but now this is the bullshit that you're bringing to me. Now this runner card here is definitely somebody who was listening to their ego. I feel like they really like you, you guys. They did. They do like you. For some of you, they're using this little L word, you know what I'm saying? They want me to whisper it, right? Because they don't want to get cussed the fuck out. So yeah, we're going to sit right there. We're going to sit that right there. We're going to sit that right there. Very interesting. So I would like to know what, because it's going to be different for all of you, right? What the scenario was. I feel like this person is definitely responsible for the breakdown. Not the connection, not being able to make it to the next phase, not being able to evolve, not being able to flourish, right? Not being able to blossom. You guys planted certain seeds. They got triggered. Now, keep in mind, this karmic relationship energy is potentially what you're feeling about this person because of the behavior that they have been exhibiting. They are not your karmic soulmate is what I'm hearing. They dealt with the karmic before you and they did not heal properly. So now they're moving about very much so unhealed and not having checked that energy from the past. So they're still operating out of a unhealed heart, right? One who has, it's definitely giving like man or woman scorn, guys, right? They do want unconditional love, but the unhealed wounds within them don't allow them to listen to their heart. They listen to their ego instead. They run from relationships or they run from situations in which they think they might be codependent. Now, there might be some similarities in the connection between you and them and the person that they were with in the past. And this runner card could have flipped. This person could have, like I said, they came in hot and heavy. The two of you were potentially really taken off, right? The potential was beautiful. It was one that signified growth, one that signified oneness, right? Meeting somebody that you connect with, meeting someone that it just flows with, right? It felt very organic. I feel like the first date was magical, right? The first conversation could have been mystical, right? It's just one thing after another and it felt really good. And then there was a swift change. Okay, I do feel like for some of you, either this person is getting ready to try to come back or they already have, and then you became the runner, right? So they ran first, and the running could have been, they could have actually ran, meaning they disappeared. They could have ghosted you. They could have stopped answering your phone calls, or it could have been energetically, right? So meaning they were there, but they weren't there, right? It changed. It kind of went from hot to cold. It kind of went from a big flame to a little flame. Very confusing. Or you could have, because a lot of you here also are able to tap in very well spiritually to your intuition, right? To your own discernment, to your senses, right? So you would have sensed that this person was pulling back. And that made you want to run. So I do feel like a lot of regret on their end. I heard embarrassment, right? They could be feeling like, damn, what did I do that for? They're still not. So they either have not yet, or they're getting ready to start recognizing where it's coming from. And it is their ex, right? It's their ex. It's an ex soulmate, a karmic soulmate, that is. Somebody who really fucked them up, right? And if you look at the imagery on this card, there's a heart in the center, but it looks like a whole bunch of shit that's around the heart, right? Like that has it kind of chained up almost. There's a lot of noise surrounding it. So while this person does have feelings for you, they definitely like you. They enjoyed the time that the two of you have spent together thus far, however long or short that would have been. You kind of paying for what occurred to them before they even met you, but that's not something that you would have known. This is somebody who wants to move beyond this. So they're now just kind of trying to figure out what is happening, like how it got here, right? Freedom from a toxic relationship. That's what this healing card says. For some of you, that ex could still be, you know, trying to communicate with them, trying to show back up. I don't see that posing as a problem for you, but it does reopen the wound for this individual. And that could also be what's adding to this energy of not being able to focus entirely on something healthy, on something new, because the old shit keeps coming back up or keeps trying to show up. Karmic relationships can be very tricky, right? Now let's be clear. You know, us in the spiritual community here on, let me just talk for myself, not everybody else, right? We use a lot of buzzwords, right? There are a lot of buzzwords that are now popping nowadays. Everybody's using it, right? The soulmate, the twin flame, the karmic soulmate, the, you know, all of the spiritual connections, they all exist, right? And they are definitely something that I believe in. However, a karmic soulmate, right, is not to be looked at like, oh, you're a bad person. Like you go to hell, right? Like you're the worst. You're the worst person in the world. Because we can all be somebody's karmic at one point in time. What it means is you meet that person and they're supposed to teach you a lesson. Now, if you meet that person and you are continually not learning the lesson, then guess what? They will keep coming back. You will not be able to see clearly the reason to cut that shit off. You will almost feel magnetically pulled towards that person. Now, I don't get that you're individual. I don't get that they feel a pull towards that person, but clearly they haven't cut a cord here. Okay? They haven't cut it. They haven't nipped it in the bud because it's still bothering them. And that's either a physical cord or that's an energetic cord, right? It's either effing with them on a subconscious level or literally, physically, in the 3D on a conscious level. This person is still calling them, contacting them, still has access to them. You see, you got to cut that shit the fuck off, especially if you're trying to move on to a new phase, a new thing. If you're trying to attract something new, something healthy, something vibrant, right? Something fulfilling. You can't then have that thing in competition with something that is not the equivalent in frequency. Yeah, this snake card says the other woman, or it could be the other man. And I don't get that they are entertaining this person romantically, but there's some form of accord that's still there. And it is affecting things, okay? So this is something that you would be unaware of. And if this is you, then you take that advice for yourself. Because I do see a lot of potential here. The love card would not have shown up if it did not have the potential to grow into that, right? My cards don't lie. This butterfly card as well suggests a transformation, evolving into something else, having a relationship that is actually beautiful, that can evolve into the next phase, that is healing rather than depleting, right? That can grow rather than subdue you. Now, of course, you still have free will here, right? You can do what you want, right? I'm just reading the cards. I just feel like this connection was cut at the knees before it could ever get off the ground because of outside sources. And like I said, it could be both of you who have exes that you are either subconsciously still allowing to direct you, right? So you're making decisions based off of unhealed wounds. That's a no-go, right? Or they are physically still in your life. They physically still have access. They can still hit you in the DMs. You haven't really blocked them. You blocked them, then you unblock them. Then you block them again, then you unblock them. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, right? That's what I just heard. Okay, that could be you or them. Don't get down in the comments, girl, that's not me. That's him. That's her. Like, I think that's them. Okay, then that it probably is, right? You'll know if that is you. Now, these unhealed wounds happening on a subconscious level is a little bit more tricky to identify because, of course, it's subconsciously, right? So let's dig in a little bit here. Let's kind of get into this person's mind. I feel like they are having some alarms go off, however, right? Because they really were enjoying the time that the two of you were having together. It's really bothering them if the two of you are not speaking right now, okay? It's bothering them. It really, really is. I feel like they want to reach out. They don't know what to say. If you're still communicating with one another, they still feel as though something is off. You know what I mean? Something makes them feel like running, but then they also like being around you. They feel like you're real. You know what I mean? You make them feel very comfortable. They feel like they can be themselves around you. You don't judge them, and vice versa, right? You can decide if that's how you feel as well. I'm really just kind of picking up on their energy. There's a oneness there, right? They also are very attracted to it, to the way that you love yourself, because you have a lot of confidence. And I feel like they were dealing with somebody who had very low self-esteem in the past, right? Not too much confidence there, which required the relationship to be very much so codependent. It had an addictive quality. This could also be somebody who needs to release their idea of what love looks like, right? Because love is not supposed to feel addicting. It's not supposed to feel as if you can't live without that person. It's not supposed to feel as if that person makes you whole, right? That you're supposed to have a oneness with yourself. So we have separation, right? So this is something that has either occurred or this person fears it occurring. These are all their current energies, guys, right? These are the things kind of running through their mind. Do they have a fear of intimacy? No, but they do have a fear of kind of getting caught up in the same thing that they were caught up in prior to you. And that shouldn't even be a thought in their head if they healed from it. You see what I'm saying? We have reconciliation. So they are wanting to kind of fix this. They're trying to figure out how to do that, right? How to get on a level playing field to where they can speak to you and it's genuine, right? It is a form of communication in which you will be open to hearing, because I feel like the second it sounds like they on some bullshit, the second it sounds like they're trying to run some game on you, you're out of there, period. They do feel like they're kind of teetering on thin ice. So they feel like they may have only like one chance to get this right, to say this right, to do this right, to make this certain action, to move in accordance with what will have you see the true feeling that they have for you, which is this, I will say like, right? A very deep like. They can see themselves loving you. We have passion. I said like, and look, they like, pardon? Pardon? You mean love, bitch. You mean love. Just say it. Say it. Say it, ma'am, sir, bruh, sis, say it. They're like, I don't want to say it unless, you know, we really have a chance. So this person could really have on their mind this idea of being rejected. Even though I don't feel like you gave them any idea that that's what was going to happen. I feel like you've been very open with this person, a lot more open than you have been in the past, and a lot quicker than you possibly used to it, right? It probably really threw you off. This energy of them pulling back, running away, disappearing, whatever it was. There's also this sentiment that if they did stop contacting you, they also haven't heard from you, right? So it's not like, it's like, okay, the two of you had a conversation, then the next day nobody called each other. The next day nobody called each other. The next day nobody called each other. That's very specific. Don't force it to fit. But I feel like that's the energy, and they kind of, I don't get that they were expecting you to call, but they're kind of like, damn. You know, maybe he or she didn't really like me as much. Maybe Aquarius didn't really like me as much as I thought. Or maybe they weren't really into me as much as I thought. There you go again. You're going to have to release, ma'am, sir, bruh, sis, that idea of what you think a relationship looks like. Nobody's chasing you, bitch. If you want to go, you could go. Okay? I like you, but I'm definitely not going to chase you, okay? You decide to go, guess what? Then we're in separation. We're done. Like, it's cool. I'm cool on you. And we're cool, okay? That's how this is gonna go. And that's very healthy. And the fact that you mentioned, I'm just talking to your person right now, right? Like, so the fact that you mentioned that you liked the fact that Aquarius was confident, right? They embodied characteristics of one who has self-love, right? Self-confidence, one who is confident in oneself and knows their own self-worth. Then there's no way that you could have thought that if you didn't hear from them, that if you did not reach out to them, that you would hear from them. And even if you did reach out to this person, it was only once. You see what I'm saying? It still embodied this idea that Nobody is running after you. Nobody is addicted to this relationship, okay? Nobody is trying to get themselves in a position where they are chasing or feel thirsty, or that's just not going to happen, okay? I need you to know that. I need you to understand that that is not healthy. And it's not until you heal whatever the fuck happened to you in the past that you're going to recognize that that's not cool. That's not healthy. That's not what's happening. And if you find yourself having transformed, then maybe you have some residual effects of toxicity there, because why are you looking for that, right? Why are you looking for Aquarius to do that? If you have backed off, then why would they not back off? Why would they then chase you? Why would they then, you know, want to see why you backed off? Like, who's doing that? No, thank you. No, thank you. So, shall we pull some tarot? This is the romance of a lifetime. I feel like there was a lot of fun had. For a very small portion of you, it could have went, you know, y'all could have got a little physical, okay, with passion there, right? It just felt right. So you allowed yourself to have a bit of a one-night stand for some of you, but it ended up being a one-night stand where the two of you actually like each other, right? So you wanted to talk the next day, and then the day after that, and then the day after that, and the day after that. It's for a very small portion of you. The passion card can also signify that there's a lot of chemistry, right? And physical attraction, for sure. I feel like it started out with the physical attraction, right? That's what fueled this desire to want to get to know each other. And then it just expanded after that, right? Like the more you talked to them, the more you spoke, the more conversations the two of you had, it just kind of evolved into something else. Like, oh, this person is different. Like, okay, there's more there. There's more under the surface. There's more than what meets the eye. They are taking accountability for needing to change something, but I feel like they're taking they are trying to figure it out, right? Now, there could be a bit of a time constraint on how soon they want this to happen, right? Because they may feel as though you're slipping away, but it's taking them some time to figure this out. I don't know why they're not correlating it with their ex. There's either resentment there. You are a man or woman scorned. You're scorned by what happened in the past. There could be things in you that they recognized, right? It was recognizable. You could be an actual soulmate for this person, not necessarily, right? But I do feel like a spiritual connection here for sure, which is why they're really trying to figure it out. It's really fucking with them mentally to try and understand, why do I feel like running, yet running towards them? I feel like running away and running towards them at the same time, right? And it's like, in those moments where the two of you are together, they do get lost, right? There are moments in time where the two of you can get lost when you're spending time together, when you're on the phone, hours and hours and hours, that sort of thing. And you might say one thing, or you might do one thing. You might have a specific quality that kind of resonates with who their ex is, right? It could be the same hair color. It could be something small, and they can't really they can't put their finger on it, but it feels familiar, and it feels familiar in a very unhealed way, like in a toxic way, right? Like oh, what? It's something that they would have been attracted to from their ex in the past, but because this ex really hurt them, you guys, okay? They could feel like they were over it. I feel like this is somebody who thought that they were over it. They're only now learning this lesson. They're only now becoming enlightened that, damn, maybe I'm not over that, right? I feel like they're trying to work their way towards that. They haven't really mentioned it just yet, right? With the Knight of Pentacles. There might be a bit of a stubbornness here with this person, okay? They could be a fixed sign like you. Another Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo. Could be a Leo, or they could have Leo predominantly in their chart, okay? Their moon sign or something like that. I feel a stubborn quality, right? They've gone through a lot. they've been through a lot. They've had to heal from a lot. So the ways in which their life has evolved, right, has ascended in certain ways. They're sort of like looking like, okay, I did the work. Now what? Why do I feel like this? Why is this happening? You know what? Why is this occurring? And this person could have waited a long time before they put themselves back out there, y'all. Okay. I'm thinking a couple of years. They were just kind of resting, kind of to themselves, kind of just focused on themselves, focused on their work, on their job, their money. Not really dealing with anyone on a romantic level. And I do feel like this is bothering them because it's like, damn, the first person that I'm like really into, why is this happening? You know? We have the Four of Swords. Yeah, see, I feel like this person leveled the fuck up. They definitely didn't just move on to the next relationship, but what they're not realizing as a fixed sign with your stubborn ass, I need you to listen, okay? You did do the work. What you want, a cookie? You want a hand clap? Everybody, please, round of applause for this person. Good job. Now, can we move on for that? Because there's still stuff there's residual muck. There's literally still a cord. Hello. You took your nap. You ascended. There's still a cord. Are we going to deal with that or not? Because if you're deciding not to deal with that, then can't really help you there. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to miss out on this, okay? For the time being anyway. It will stagnate. It has stagnated things. This is the reason for how slow things have evolved, for how slow things are going. It's quite surprising because I feel like it started out, like I said, very fiery. Shit was cool. Shit was lit, bitch. Having a great time, having a good time. It's time for you to go to the next level. You can't just stay where you are. You see what I'm saying? You got to shift. You got to change. You have to, there's a slight pivot if you're wanting a union. Okay, you have to cut this tie. So like I said, even if they're not still communicating with the ex, guys, it could just be emotional muck that's left, right? Like resentment, bitterness, you know, looking at, comparing, you know, looking at every situation and allowing what happened to you in the past to dictate how you're moving, right? That sort of thing. It could be just as simple as that. It could be a number of things, but it's something from the past that they're still tied to, or you. Take it how it resonates, right? This is what's slowing shit down. And I promise you, as soon as that cord is cut, the shit is off. It's taken off. And it can be very victorious, very beautiful, right? This is definitely a connection that could go all the way with the Emperor showing up here. This is not a game. The toxicity is not within this connection for those of you who are running away from this. Okay, whether it's you or this person. The toxicity is stemming from people outside of the fucking connection. So you're going to allow your exes to sabotage something so... It is beautiful. I'm just going to say it, okay? It is. Lots of great qualities in this, right? Very unfortunate that it has kind of gone down like this and it's kind of slowed down or stopped completely for some of you. And then the both of you might be stubborn with the strength card showing up right here. And it's like, I'm not moving. I'm not going to do it. You know, I mean, you need to step up. You need to step, like, it's like, okay, so we're going to be at an impasse. If nobody wants to work on this cord, whoever has it, you got to nip that shit in the butt. You got to cut it. Okay? Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Yeah, cut it. Please. And thank you. Just do it. It feels like a weight that would be lifted, okay? The relationship that finally has wheels with the Chariot. And the way that it can flourish and the things that it can develop into, really beautiful, you guys, right? I can't stress that enough, but it will take effort, right? Can't just sit on your ass and think that shit is going to happen just because, right? No matter how much work you've already done, there's still more work to do. We all have more work to do. You see what I'm saying? As long as you're living in the 3D, there's still more things to learn. There are still more things to do. There is still more evolution, more evolving. And I could be wrong, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? And only take it if it resonates. But I feel like as Aquarians, even though we are fixed signs, we are very much future focused, right? Revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? We will shake some shit the fuck up. We are fixed. This is why people don't get Aquarian energy, because we're fixed, but we also get bored. You see what I'm saying? We don't like shit to be staying the same. We're not really ones to have like a daily routine type shit. We gotta switch it up sometimes. So that's why I feel like this person's energy more than yours, though it could be both, right? That's not wanting to pivot. That's not wanting to shift slightly. That's not wanting to change anything up. That feels like, well, since I did the work, I shouldn't have to do more work. Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you dead? Have you ascended into the heavens? Like, are you out of here? Because if you're still here, there's always more to do. There's always more to have. There's always more to see. There are always new goals, right? And with you meeting an Aquarian, taking into account you not being an Aquarian yourself, there's always the next level, okay? There's always another level. There's always another level. You will be surprised. Now, if you can release some of your stubbornness, going to the next levels with an Aquarian, that shit could be fucking lit, bitch. You understand me? It's fun. It is fun, but you have to be open to it. You have to have some spontaneous energy. You have to have some spontaneity, right? You have to be willing for shit to change. Be willing for shit to move. Be willing for shit to be a little bit different, a little bit non-traditional. So let's hop over to the extended, okay? I'm really interested to see how this unfolds, guys, okay? We already know it's slowing shit down. I want to know, what are your subconscious blocks, okay? Because I kind of already see what's going on with this person, but we'll double check to see what your subconscious blocks are, and that's really the only thing that you have control over, okay? Getting those under control, right? Removing those blocks is going to allow for you to hop on this chariot with or without this person. It's going to allow for more of a successful, and I would say like a smooth transition into your next cycles, okay? Whether you decide to be with them or not. So we'll look into that, okay? I also want to know, what do they hope for moving forward? What are they wanting? I kind of already know where this person's mindset is, but they have some work to do, right? Like, they would actually have to put in effort. They would actually have to do this, okay? You can't do it for them. They would have to be able to see it clearly and do it, right? Do the work. I want to know what they are taking accountability for, okay? What are they willing to take accountability for? What are they willing to do to make this shit right? Yeah. Have they changed? Have they done the work? Have they gotten off this? Have they realized that they have control over this? If you'll notice in this Knight of Pentacles card, this person is walking, but there's a horse right behind you. So if you really wanted to move faster, bitch, you could hop up on this motherfucking stallion and get the going, bitch. Or you might miss out. All right? It's really up to you. So Spirit is giving them a mode of transportation, but if they decide to walk, then that's on them. So the time frame could definitely be a subject matter here that could stagnate things even further. But we'll look. Okay, let's see what their next steps are going to be. Their intentions, of course, and when, right? Like, the when is important because right now they're walking when they need to be running, right? Running towards your ascension, running towards breaking those barriers down, getting those unresolved issues in check, healing your heart completely, you know, on all levels, so that you're not sabotaging the good things that you are now, that you've worked for. Yep. And then I'll also see, can this actually work between the two of you? Is it worth your time? What do you get out of this shit if you do decide to invest in this, right? Is it going to take a long time for this to happen? Because time is of the essence. Nobody's saying that you have to wait for this person. This is why we want to look at the time frames as well. We'll look at the best possible outcome, and then we'll get some advice, okay, to see how you can successfully navigate your next cycle with or without this person. All right? So without further ado, click the like button, as well as subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'm going to put the link for the extended reading down below in the description box. And I'm going to see y'all over there. Let's go.